Hey, drywall repairman here. Thanks for visiting my channel. I am a licensed drywaller. I do a lot of drywall repairs. Patches on ceilings, patches on walls, stress cracks. Simple do-it-yourself type drywall repairs you can do. So please watch and learn these videos and please subscribe. Thanks for viewing. Hello everybody. Today's video we're doing some patches. These are patches in a bathroom. They had plumbing but they deleted the plumbing, so now we're just going to patch over the wall. Basically on the right hand side I'm using a 1x2. You can use a 1x2 or a piece of wood, a level or T-square. You basically want to pencil off the edge to straighten out the patch. This one I'm cutting halfway in the stud so I can have something to screw the new sheetrock patch to. This is the easiest way. If you're close to a stud, you just cut halfway on the stud so you can add screws in the old sheetrock and the new sheetrock. You want to get these patches cut out nice and square before you install new sheetrock. Once you get them all cut out nice and square, if you need to add backing, add backing. I like to use 1x2s. Some people like to use 2x4s, wood sheeting, whatever you want to use. Go ahead and use it, but add plenty of backing. The backing is here for a reason. It's to keep the patch from cracking out. People think you can just use the old studs. Sure, you can use old studs if you want to cut back from stud to stud. But if you're not going to cut back from stud to stud, then you have to add backing on each side. Add plenty of screws in the backing. You also want to add screws to your outside edge of your old sheetrock in the framing. Add plenty of screws. This is a 5/8 sheetrock patch that I'm using, so I'm using 1.5 inch screws. So you want to use the screws for the depth of the sheetrock you're using. Add plenty of screws. I like to add screws every 2 to 4 inches. Plenty of screws to tighten up the patch. Like I said before, you want to add screws on the outside edge to tighten up the old sheetrock. That way the patch doesn't crack out. Once you get the screws all installed, everything's nice and flush. You don't want no screw heads sticking out. That'll mess you up when you go to mud. So make sure all your screws are sunk in, recessed in the sheetrock. Go through and scrape the areas with a 6-inch knife. Get all the goobers off the wall before you fiberglass mesh tape. On all patchwork, I use fiberglass mesh tape. There's paper tape out there, other type of tapes. Just stick to your fiberglass mesh tape. It's airproof. You won't have any issues. I'm using a 5-minute quickset mud. If you're not comfortable using quickset muds, then use a regular joint compound. Joint compounds have to dry overnight. These quickset muds set up right away. This is more professional type materials. I'm just filling in the gaps with the mud. If you have a large gap, you're going to have to put sheetrock in the gaps. You can't have 1-inch gaps, stuff like that. I know someone asked a comment about a 1-inch gap. If you could stick your pinky in the gap, then you need to put sheetrock in. Smaller gaps can be pre-filled. Once the hot mud sets up or your regular mud sets up, you're going to have to slick it out or sand it out. With these hot muds, you slick out. I have plenty of videos on the slick out technique. Slicking it out is basically taking off the excess mud, just taking off the heavy mud. We're going to mix a second coat pan of mud. Same thing here, just mixing up a pan load, half a pan. That's all we need for this 5-minute mud. Any extra mud, water, just dump it out. Just get what you need. Mix it up. If you need to thin down the mud, just add a little bit of water. Nice thin second coat mud. We're just going to do a tight skim coat over it. You can go up and down, vertical, horizontal, whatever. I'm just going this way. I'm just doing a horizontal coat. It's kind of tight in the small wall. So you just want to do a nice tight second coat. You're not trying to build a big old hump on the wall with second coat. And everybody thinks you need to put the mud on heavy. Sure, maybe with joint compounds you have to put them on heavy because they shrink back. With these quickset muds, you're just doing tight skim coats. Once a second coat dries, you want to slick it out. This is a 5-minute mud, so it's setting up within 5 minutes. Same thing as the first coat, just slicking it out. I'm taking extra mud off. I'm using a 6-inch knife and a sponge. This is used for all hot muds, no matter what. This is a step process you have to use with hot muds. Once it's all ready, I'm just going to do a third coat with a regular joint compound. This is a Santa Fe smooth texture. It's pretty much smooth, but there are some imperfections called voids, skip voids. So it's just a Santa Fe. I'm just going from angle to angle so the whole area is coated. Nice patch area.